Why you lose every woman you actually wanted? Have you ever wondered why the woman that you're some way attracted to disappear? Or they're just not interested? Or just one thing or the other just leads to things not working out? And you're stuck in this loop where you're pretty much okay with girls, just not the ones that you actually want. Now in this video, I'm going to help you understand why that's happening and how to stop that from happening again. My name is Matt Chibrog and I'm a dating coach, relationship coach, and I help men and women build better relationships. In my 12-week coaching program, I go through exactly where you are right now and how to get to where your desired goal is, based on the strategies that I implemented in order to get to where I am, with the hopes to get you there too. Okay? So you may have felt this sting of rejection, and you find yourself constantly chasing women that are out of your league. And I'm here to tell you, you already made the first mistake. There's no such thing as a league. You either are confident enough to attract them or you're not, and then you fluke until they realize and they're no longer interested. And that's number one. Stop looking at them as this thing that's outside of your goal. What is it that makes you feel like, is it their looks? Right? And if it's their looks, then you gotta ask yourself, why would they be attracted to someone that doesn't believe he's attracted enough to be around them? And don't get me wrong, I'm not about to call you a delusional punk. Like, if you're a guy and you look like your dad, and the dad was a lucky man, there's part of it that needs to be honest. You need to be honest with yourself. But there is a hack. There is a trick. And the trick is outdoing everything else in yourself. Let me explain. So let's look at Jonathan Mayers. Okay? Let's call it what it is. The guy has a cold physique. But imagine Jonathan Mayers fat. Exactly my point. It wouldn't look so good, would it? Now, what did he do? He maximized his physique. Right? And in your case, it may not be necessarily your physique. It could be your finances. It could be your the way you dress. It could be the way you carry yourself. You can maximize something. However, it's all about portraying your competitive advantage. Imagine a life where you stop pushing women away and you start attracting the woman that you actually want in abundance. I'm not saying you're going to have every single woman begging and knocking at your door, because that's just not realistic. That's not how humanity works. But imagine you had a selection of good quality women, as in they're all pretty much comfortable. And these are women that you actually spend a lot more than just a one night stand with. Okay? Now, in order for that to be a case, here's what you need to do. You need to go into in order for you to do that, you need to look at your inventory. I'll call it your dating inventory. And you need to reorganize some stuff. Right? If your looks are on 0 or -5, let me be kinder. Maybe let's say 5 out of 10. You're giving yourself a 5 out of 10. What's your physique like? What's your finances like? What's your personalities like? But most importantly, what's your inner confidence like? You see, once you have these 4 factors laid on the table, by the way, inner confidence basically means you just accepting who you are and being true to that, and not being scared or trying to dial it down. No, be unapologetically yourself. That's it. That's not much to it. So we separated it in 4. So confidence, okay, comes from competence, and the competence comes from you accepting who you are multiple occasions. It won't happen overnight. It will be something that you need to be doing constantly. Okay, now here's the kicker. It's not about what you're doing wrong, okay? It's about what you don't realize you're doing. And in that full spectrum, in those 4 spectrums, you can easily kind of understand where exactly you're lacking, okay? And if you're portraying, saying, listen, I'll give you an example. Everyone's got disadvantages. I'm not going to go to Ty Lopez and ask him for dating advice. That's just my personal opinion. Why? Because the guy seems not to have much luck when it comes to dating at the moment. Okay? Whatever, heck yeah, I'll go to him for business advice. And you've got to see yourself in the same way. Why would someone come to you? Let that be your entry, the door to entry. So, I don't know, you've got a great financial career. Fantastic. I'm not saying you should show that off, but you should understand that that's part of your identity. You don't need to be the ugly guy. You can be the successful guy. I'm a successful guy. I'm a guy that's made it happen, built from the ground up, right? The story that you tell yourself is the one that matters most. So instead of utilizing your insecurities to describe yourself, utilize your strengths, right? I'm a great communicator, right? Or I'm a great public speaker. That's how I introduce myself. Am I the best pickup artist? Probably not, right? But you get the gist. Just pick your strengths, right? And use that to describe yourself. Because everyone has some sort of competitive advantage as long as they're doing something and not being idle. Okay? So step one is stop pretending to be someone you're not. Okay? It's not gonna work. It fizzles out. And no, she's not out of your league. She just looks good. That's it. Like, I need you to literally get rid of the society's limitations that they've placed on you because of the way you look. Women don't care that much about how you look. That's the truth. What they care about is how you carry yourself. You wanna know how I know that? I've seen guys that look like Squidward land some of the most attractive women in the room. And those same women were given no time or attention to the guys that we would consider attractive. So attraction is just something that, don't get me wrong, is very important, but it's not as important as you think. So here's what's your superpower: authenticity. You see, once you're able to represent yourself in a way that allows them to say, this guy represents himself well. So see yourself as a kingdom. Your kingdom Uzi. Let's call it Kingdom Uzi, right? Present yourself properly. This is my kingdom. This is like your body's your kingdom, right? And you're now looking to expand by hiring someone else. But it all starts in the mind. You've got to see yourself as someone worthy of being in their presence. In fact, not even worthy of being in their presence. Someone that's grateful to be in their presence, but also knows that the other person should be just as much. Okay? And it all starts from how you perceive yourself. Step 2, examine your attachment style. If you're operating from a place of fear or insecurity, it's okay. Everyone fears. Everyone can be insecure in terms of certain things. What is not okay is you allowing that to stop you or define you. You see, I've done multiple talks, right? 300 people, 400 people, 1,000 people, you name it. And every single time I get nervous. I've gone viral multiple times ever since I was 16 doing talks. So why is it that I still get this feeling? Well, I can't control the feeling, but I can control how I react to it or I respond to it. Keyword is respond. So here's what I do. When the feeling comes, I acknowledge it. I remember the last talk I went, a guy stopped me and asked me, how are you feeling? I said, I'm feeling nervous, but I'm still doing what I need to do. Okay? So it's okay to acknowledge things. In fact, that's the heightened level of, like Jason Wilson says, being a comprehensive man, because you're acknowledging your emotions, you're just not letting them stop you. So if you're feeling nervous, oh gosh, I'm so nervous. I can't believe I'm doing this. Right? It's like you acknowledging that kind of like almost nullifies the pressure or the anxiety you're giving yourself and expecting the worst out of it. Because what's the worst that can happen anyway? Truly, like really and truly, what's the worst that can happen? I mean, we're all gonna die anyway. And that's me being dark, you name it. We're all gonna die one day. So what's the worst that can really, really happen? Prove your emotional intelligence. Learn how to regulate your emotions. Okay. So if you're tired of losing women you truly want, then you may also want to look at these videos. And the reason why I say that is because, you see, they didn't teach us this. Society didn't. Your parents didn't, because they didn't know. But you know now that there's a whole heap of things that need to be included in your arsenal in order for you to be a successful man that can attract the woman and relationships he desires. And same goes for women. There's a lot you need to understand, from the traumas, the things that you are not sure of, to everything that's pretty much led you to where you are today. Does it work? Does it not work? Because if it doesn't work, it's exactly what's stopping you. You need to think of yourself as a vehicle driving towards the end destination. And that end destination is the goal you set for yourself, whether it's marriage or having kids and having a happy home ever after, or having a, the ideal my wife and kids scenario family, right? But you have to understand that you're driving towards that goal. So you need to understand what to carry and what to eliminate, so that the journey can be a lot more effective, because the more you carry, the longer it'll take. So this is why the inventory is key. There's some myths that you just don't need to carry anymore. And I hope that in this video I've showed you what you need to do. But if you're keen on understanding exactly how I take my clients from A to B, and that is from insecurity, lack of fear of rejection, lack of self-confidence, to clear confidence, clarity, and understanding exactly who they're looking for, and not just that, but being able to attract and sustain greater relationships, there's a link in the description for you where you can book a 30-minute call. It's free of charge, okay? But in that call, I'll be seeing whether you're the right person, the right fit to work with. Because as you know, I'm a busy man, father, husband, entrepreneur, and running multiple businesses. So yeah, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. That's the truth, okay? And the reason why is because I know how hard it is out there. I know how difficult it is. I know that no one's actually teaching us this stuff. And more than anything, I also know that it's hard, because we're basically trying, if you don't have people like myself showing you these things, we're pretty much left to guess, trial and error, fail, until we realize that we're failing, to then change our narrative, okay? So let's keep this conversation going by you clicking on the next video and then seeing what other ways I can support you in. Alright? See you in the next video. I'm rooting for you. I am. Let's build better relationships, one conversation at a time. See you next time.